off. No holds barred.
Really could go anyway. Flip over your tape decks. It's the B-sides.
It's the B-sides.
Hey, I never really know how to start these things, but I am Jack Bingham.
And I am Scott Hughes.
And this is Your Mates. We're your mates.
We are indeed your mates.
And it's the B-sides.
This is the B-sides. Actually, I feel like we should warn you guys as our mates that we might have a few B-sides in a row.
Yeah.
Because our manager, God bless his heart,
he's on a bit of a trip.
Yeah, he's doing a great trip to... he's on a trip basically helping people. So he's a good bloke. Yeah, he's an all-round legend, and we appreciate what he does, but he does stuff for everyone, so we can't always have him.
That's right, and he won't be around for a couple of weeks. So there's going to be a few B-sides in a row, so get used to it, I guess. We basically say without the manager, we can't guarantee anything's going to be on time. We can't give any quality guarantees or legalities.
Minimal fact checking.
Yeah, we can't check facts. That's one of the manager's main roles, is a quick fact checker.
And he's great at it, I must say.
But I think we should kick off into our favourite newest segment.
The news. Bringing in some news. Hot little bit of news. Basically, anything that's related to some previous topics, we talk about things and put it in the news segment. I'll start for this week.
Please do.
A couple of things, actually. One was just a quick one. So a couple of episodes ago, we rang my mum as a dental professional.
Yes.
And she gave us an update about whether toothbrushes are fully antibacterial, therefore you don't have to, or toothpaste is antibacterial, so
doesn't matter where you store your toothbrush.
Yeah,
the example was you're leaving it in your car.
Exactly.
The point of the news is we don't get into it too much, but hopefully you've heard it.
Yeah.
So you've got an update on that.
That's right. And basically what Mum was saying in this, she commented back and just wanted to clarify that toothbrushes should be kept dry. So if they're wet,
gotcha,
then that does provide an opportunity for things such as mold to grow.
Yeah, right. Because I think that she recommended that it goes into like a sealed container.
Yeah.
So I think that's where that came from, where she was basically saying to us, make sure it's dry in the container.
Keep it dry, yeah.
Because even if it's in the container, if it's wet, could be anything going on it.
Yeah, okay. So keep toothbrushes dry. Great fact. Great all-round fact.
Yeah. I've got a bit of news. It's not relevant. It's not like a throwback to an old podcast, but it's just like a bit of a, I guess a bit of an announcement. We're just using our kind of platform as a little announcement.
Yep.
To the people that leave letters in your letterbox that say, sorry, we missed you.
Oh, yeah.
Like things like pest control, stuff like that. Sorry, we missed you. Yeah. I just want to basically respond with an overwhelming, don't be sorry.
All good.
You weren't welcomed in the first place. So no need, and don't even worry about coming back. All good. Don't waste paper. If we want you, we'll call you. Yeah. Be more sorry about that rather than that you missed us, because we didn't miss you.
I know this often happens with news segments; they turn into a topic.
Yeah.
But it's pretty funny, like because our front lawn wasn't done for ages. Like we moved into a new house and the lawn was just a pile of dirt for a long time. We got lots of like landscapers drop there. Sorry, we missed you. which is great. Kind of actually appreciated it at that time.
Did you use one that actually got dropped in the box?
I'm going to say we did use a pest control one actually that was dropped in our box.
No way.
Yeah. It was different though, because it's like a new area, lots of new houses, probably not into a routine yet. And I feel like that's one thing that I was lazy about, but wanted to get on top of. Because I feel like if you don't control pests from the start, who knows what can happen.
Well, it was a quote that you told me where you basically said, if everyone else is doing it, guess where the pest ends up? In your house.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think that it was a thing.
On that game.
I think a lot of the street was getting in on it. So okay, that makes sense. But that's interesting that it's worked out for you, because I kind of.
But yeah, there are a lot that I don't appreciate.
Yeah, I think a majority of the time. Yeah, it's just like, and regardless, don't be sorry anyway.
No,
just.
We get a lot of handwritten, supposedly.
Yeah.
Handwritten letters from real estates.
Right.
Saying, sorry, we miss you. We'd like to evaluate your house or something random like that.
All good. Don't be sorry. Forgiven.
Sorry.
Don't come back.
Never contacted you to come over in the first place.
That's the main thing, is like, I just don't think you need to be sorry, because really.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they are genuinely really sorry.
Yeah, because they don't know.
But
Get our business.
I just think, it's fine.
It's
Don't
good.
feel bad. If you're the one who drops those letters,
Mm-hmm.
just no worries. All good.
Mm-hmm. One last bit of news from me
great.
is we talked about the idea of running in public and how it could actually be a time saver.
Yes.
I actually noted something that I do.
Okay. Just a quick, if you do want to go back, we're not even going to tell you about it, but the episode was called Running and Squatting. It was like early days.
Yeah.
4 or 5 maybe.
Yeah.
Running and squatting. Yep.
A real exercise-focused podcast.
It was.
But I noticed something that I do, and it's actually, if ever I walk upstairs,
Yep.
I bound up them.
Oh, same.
Like at least 2.
Yep.
Sometimes 3. Like it's like a camouflage run. I feel like, because usually you just walk one step at a time.
Yeah.
But more than just like walking 2 steps at a time, I reckon I put a bit of a leap in it.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
that I like pounce up the stairs in a really quick amount of time.
Yeah.
And it's like I've camouflaged a quick run.
For sure. I don't know if it's normal or if it's just us because the sample size here is basically proven 100% of people do it. But I always run upstairs 100%.
Yeah.
And even today we had at where I work we had a fire drill, and so we're up on the top floor.
Yeah. Wow.
And and so 7 levels to go down.
Yeah. Wow.
And then we basically went back up the fire escape just because the lifts were packed.
And you were first up.
Well,
basically.
not just because there were so many people, I wasn't, but basically like every opportunity I had to be able to get up the stairs fast, always.
Yeah.
And that was 7 levels. I was ruined by the top.
Yeah.
Absolutely ruined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, interesting.
All right, I like it.
Interesting.
Well, do you want to kick us off with a bit of a first official
I do.
topic?
I do. So I'll get straight into it, guys. I don't know if anyone's seen the B movie. Has anyone seen the B movie? You seen it?
Well, I've seen it.
Yeah, you've seen it, have you?
Yeah, I've seen it. Jerry Seinfeld, I believe, is the main guy.
Oh, I couldn't tell you. I haven't seen it.
All right. Yeah.
But I know what it's about.
Well, it's about bees, I think, and like they're humans, but they're bees.
Okay, maybe it's not what I was thinking, but I thought the premise of the movie was kind of to demonstrate how vital bees are to like our survival and kind of like food and stuff.
You're talking about the animation?
I thought I was, yeah. I mean, I was talking about that.
Yeah. Well,
does it demonstrate
I might have forgot. I kind of thought it was just like a movie where bees are like personified, but I don't. You could be right. Like I honestly don't really remember it that well.
Well,
it wasn't an absolutely like attention grasping movie. It wasn't one of my favorites of all time, but I have seen it somehow.
Okay. Well, maybe I've started this intro wrong.
That's fine. Either way, I'm interested.
I think it's a pretty well-known fact. It would be great if you had managed but I think it's a well-known fact that bees kind of keep our ecosystem going.
I've heard that before.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
So
a lot of what their work does basically like keeps a lot of plants and stuff growing and keeps a lot of things fed and that kind of thing.
I don't know, but apparently our ecosystem is really surprisingly dependent on bees.
Yeah. I'll give you that.
So, but my question is that true of other animals? So I've got 2 questions really. But first question, is that true of other animals that we just don't know about? I mean, obviously if you think, oh yeah, there's fish in the sea, we need them to survive to eat on.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking like the intricacy of bees is that they do stuff that we don't realise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why it's like a fascinating thing that they keep our environment going or whatever.
Yeah.
But I want to know, is there anything else that other animals do to keep something going that's like we don't directly see?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it's interesting.
I don't know if I've explained that well.
No, I reckon, but I totally understand what you mean. I think that where my brain goes,
which could be my second question, but go on anyway.
Well, I need to get this out because basically what I'm asking is if I'm allowed to call this episode the Bsides with needed to get that out of my head.
Yeah.
Now that it's done, the first thing that I think about is that the animals that we're dependent on, they might not be like as directly relative for like the bees are, but I think that if you got rid of a lot of animals, in turn that would like kind of get rid of other animals that were trying to eat that animal kind of thing, and you end up with a real big issue.
Yeah,
you know?
I probably should have done a bit more research onto what the exact benefit of the bees were, just so we could see how it relates. But I know what you're saying. There could be a flow-on effect within the animal food chain
Yeah.
that really affects us.
Well, that's what I'm thinking. That's
Yeah.
what I'm thinking. We lose something bigger that we need more
Yeah, okay.
because they can't eat anymore.
Yeah, okay. Could
Dunno.
be a thing. Yeah, really wish I did research on the
Really
bees,
should have brought this up on a regular A side.
but, but maybe we'll come back to it with the news update.
Yeah, okay.
But what I was then, question 2,
Mm.
is what have we potentially lost because we've got extinct animals? Sorry. There's been animals that are
True.
now extinct.
Mm-hmm.
What is our world missing because of their extinction, which is
Yep.
more than just those animals? Because we're missing those. But
All right, so what's some animals that have been extinct, and we'll try and
Yeah.
work out if they did anything good for us. So toucan is the first one that springs to mind,
yeah,
I'd say.
talk
So,
to me.
well, we still have Fruit Loops.
We still do, but I mean, they're an inspiration, so that was one good thing. so
So they're not
but
gone.
They're not gone, but I mean, maybe if they weren't extinct, we wouldn't have fruitlets. I don't know.
Because maybe it would be not as an interesting bird because there would be pests.
But imagine if they, like, for some reason, ate a particular seed and then also, like, in their droppings, dropped it in a particular fertile ground that only toucans went to, which sprouted a particular fruit.
Yeah.
And now, because they're extinct...
Well, that's what they make Fruit Loops out of, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Whatever that
Well,
fruit is.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's a fruit lop. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, imagine if there was a particular fruit that we now don't get to experience because of the extinction of the
toucan.
toucan.
All right. Well, what else has been extinct? Tasmanian
Honestly.
tiger?
Yeah, the tiger. Yeah, saber-tooth.
Saber-tooth tiger?
Yeah.
That's like really old school. So we've lost a couple of tigers. So,
Yeah.
I mean, what are tigers doing for us, really?
Um,
Cheerios?
Well, imagine if, because they are carnivorous, so imagine if they ate a particular type of, I don't know, animal,
Yeah.
let's just say,
Yeah.
that was like, you know how you can get like Angus beef and it's delicious?
Yeah.
Or like a premium, like lamb is nice or whatever.
Mm.
What if they... I
Or a
don't know.
special meat. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess that's pretty direct. But
It's very direct.
No, actually...
Well, what I was thinking
no,
is
my-
maybe they
yeah.
might have been like they might have been a predator for like some pesky animals like squirrels or something. That's
Yeah,
American,
okay.
yes. But
Yeah.
what do we have here? Possums.
Yeah, but
Like-
possums are cool. But yeah, I know what you're saying.
What do you mean possums are cool?
Oh, they're fine.
They're pesty as. Where you
Oh,
live
they're-
and where I live. They're
Yeah,
just
I mean,
everywhere.
they're pesty, but they're not like rats or mice. They don't attract snakes.
Yeah, I
They have their
guess.
little claws on the.
But what
the
are they?
roof.
What like? As far as I'm aware, you know how you're saying bees like are good for good for our
yeah.
ecosystem. As
Yeah.
far as I'm aware, possums are on the other end of the scale. Like they're not providing anything and they're taking up space.
Okay.
Kind of just all over the shop.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
where I live.
No, maybe you're right. But
It's
maybe...
funny that possums. I'm just going to give a quick foreshadow. Possums are coming up in my topic.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow,
It's funny how often that happens, but
Yeah,
they
okay.
are.
Yeah, we do think the same thing most of the time, 24/7. So that is a thing. But you know, possums, they're kind of. I know what you're saying.
Mm.
Saber-tooths might have been great. Like if I said cats, I think people would be not happy that I said that. But you know, a pesty animal.
That they can go. Yeah, well, the thing
Toads.
that...
Maybe
thing
they
that,
love cane toads.
Have you ever heard
Maybe
of
they
that
were the
thing?
cane toad counter.
Yeah, that's good. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's good. And maybe that's why they're spread now.
They could put up with their venom.
Yeah.
Mm.
I like that. I like that. Raccoons. They're seemingly a pest.
Don't have heaps of them.
No, again, they're very
in
American. I don't know.
Newy Australia.
There's American listeners, Scott. And
Yeah,
they would be,
true.
they'd be
Yeah.
like, for once ever, when they've
know.
listened to the podcast, they'd be like, oh, I get it.
Yeah, true.
I used an accent on 3 syllables, but they would, for once, actually relate to our podcast.
Unless we're referring to the Tasmanian tiger. But anyway, continue on.
But, well, I guess the lesson learned really is that a lot of things have been extinct over time, and we're still kind of doing okay. We're still around.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
I almost would like to see what would happen if the bees went.
Yeah, I think that's like that's kind of what that movie's about, though. The B movie, although you've seen it and I haven't,
Yeah,
so
I don't think you should
I'm
make
not,
that call.
I'm not really the one to judge, but for some reason, I feel like I've been given a synopsis, and it was about the importance of keeping bees alive.
Right. All right. Well, on the Friday news,
Yeah.
we'll let you guys all know what bees do that's actually so good
Okay, yeah,
and why they're vital
call.
to the ecosystem.
great call.
But I mean, yeah, I reckon we've had a good discussion around
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
It's been
yeah.
at least thoughts have been provoked,
Mm.
which is what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
What have you got for us, JB?
Well, like I said, it's possum related, and it's also related to one of my favourite topics ever, which is basically all the antics that happen around where I live. It's happened a few times. Things
Yeah.
like the bin wars comes up in most episodes.
Yeah.
Basically, it's like high density people
Yeah.
in little space, so
Yeah.
it's just like a content machine for me.
Yeah.
It's just lots of things going on.
It's its own ecosystem.
Yeah, completely like side note, nothing to do with the subject at all. But there's this guy at the moment that lives near us that so my wife starts work at like 5 a.m. This guy he starts up his car and just sits it there running for like maybe like half an hour before he drives off to work.
Yeah, right. Is it a good car? Performance kind of car?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, right. So he needs to kind of
Rexy.
do that. Yeah. Well,
I
they're
don't know.
known for doing that, for
Is
having
it?
to do that. Yeah. I
What,
remember.
he's warming it up? Is that what he's doing?
Yeah, we got a good mate of ours, JG
Yeah.
Griffo.
Yeah.
And,
He used to have one.
yeah, he used to have one, and I used to surf with him a fair bit, still do. But when back in the surfing days, we get out of the surf, and once we unlock the cars to put our boards away, he'd turn the car straight on, warm it up,
Really?
while then he got changed.
So just to protect the engine.
Must be.
Yeah, right.
I'm far from a car expert, but I've got another guy that I used to work with who had to do a similar thing,
Right.
warm up the engine.
Interesting. Same kind of car, Subaru?
Yeah,
right.
actually, yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that kind of answers that.
Well,
That's good to know.
that answers why, but it's still not acceptable, really.
No, it's quite loud
Oh,
because, again, performance car, traditionally
Yeah.
fairly loud kind of
Yeah.
exhaust and that.
Yeah.
And also so early, so I don't know what he does, but
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, if you're going to be working that early, that's the kind of, you need to make a decision to consider a different car.
yeah, potentially.
At least as a run around,
Potentially.
or park it closer to the street.
Anyway, like I said, that's just an example of many things that come about.
Okay.
This other thing is that, and I actually saw this last night, and I think I've caught the person in the act one other time. And basically, what it is one of our neighbours, who's a little bit further away than the usual ones, they basically, actually, before I get into exactly what they do, what I want to ask you, Scott, as a question, is at what point would you say like feeding birds
Yeah.
and possums
Mm-hmm.
becomes like just littering? So it's bread, okay? So how many slices of bread do you reckon? Or bread rolls?
Yeah.
Even the fact that I've used that terminology might be a bit of a giveaway, but do you think it's okay to chuck out before you're basically like putting rubbish on the ground?
Well, I'd say the answer is whatever they're going to eat. So, like, if they don't eat at all, you've littered.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
Basically, you've got to try and work out the quantity.
Yeah.
That if it's still there when you come back,
Yeah.
and then gets mouldy and then undesirable for any animal and just stays there,
Yeah.
that's definitely littering.
Yeah. Interesting take on it. Well, basically, I don't know how this happens, but basically this lady, she'll come out and whatever bread is in her house, I don't know how often, will end up there. And we've seen her with a full like loaf in a plastic bag, just chucking out the single slices, just like frisbeeing the slices out onto the ground.
Okay.
In only one area, which is fine. It's actually like it's out of our way. It's no worries really, and there's birds all over it in the morning, but it definitely leaves like basically a complete like coating or dusting of bread on the ground sometimes it's bread rolls, but they'll just be getting chucked out. I think the bread rolls, the possums actually like take them, completely take them.
Right.
Which again, it actually takes, I think it really pulls the possums away from our house because they are all over the shop where we are.
So it is a good thing.
Well, kinda. The thing is
So
like
in your ecosystem, if this lady went,
yeah.
you'd have
We'd
possums
be
in your
rampant
house.
with possums. That's right. Yeah, that's right. It's a bit of a throwback topic. But yeah, I just think I don't know if it's littering where she's basically throwing a whole loaf of bread on the ground. But you're right, 95% of it is probably disappearing.
Mm-hmm.
But and it's not. There's no like mold or like smell or anything.
Yeah, okay.
But there's definitely like a patch, probably like a meter squared, I reckon, patch where she throws them.
Yeah, yeah.
That's just completely like white, like snow, but just
breadcrumbs.
Yeah, like at any given time.
Oh, you're joking.
At any given time. And if you come out at the right time, there'll be full loaves of bread and bread rolls around.
Jeez,
and if it's night time, there's possums sitting around holding full bread rolls, just eating them.
Wow.
So, what I want to know is what do you think? Like, is she kind of pushing the boundaries, or?
I'm going to say she's at least pushing the boundaries. The question is she leaping over them? But what I'd say is that a plus for her, like you said, is the fact that she's keeping it in a contained area.
Yeah.
So,
because what I just had the thought just then is that if this was in her backyard, if she had a different kind of house, she had a full backyard, and she was doing the backyard, no worries, do whatever you want. You can have bird bath, you can chuck out full like steak on the ground if you want.
You can have a possum, like basically Airbnb.
Yeah,
if you
sure,
want.
Absolutely. Do whatever you want in your space. But this is like a very shared kind of area because, like I said, there's a lot of houses in not much space.
Yeah.
So it would be more of a concern for like she would have 4 neighbours within 10 metres of that patch, which aren't us, but they are people as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, and let's just assume that no permission has been asked at this point.
You can safely assume that, I reckon.
Okay. You're right. But yeah, it's an interesting one. It's good that most of the bread's taken. Like you say, there's a big. Does the bread square, the snow square, does it look like messy? Is it noticeably messy?
I mean, it's not messy. I'd be exaggerating if I was to say it looks messy, but it looks like there's breadcrumbs all over the ground.
Yeah. Okay.
So. It's like it's a full covering.
Yeah, okay.
It's not like there's is that breadcrumbs?
Not a light.
It's
dusting.
a full on like like as if you got bread and just like rolled it in your hand and just let the crumbs go everywhere.
Okay.
You'd need a loaf to get that much on the ground.
Yeah, okay.
But because it's getting stocked up like at least on a weekly basis.
Wow.
But you should see in the morning the amount of birds that are around, that are all over that area. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So anyway, maybe we'll just put it down as a boundary pusher.
Yeah, I reckon let's go boundary pusher.
Happy to sit on the fence with this one a little bit.
Yeah, and if anyone else has got anything that they want to add to the conversation, please do so. Do it via our Instagram, Jack and Scott.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you guys think that she's pushing the boundaries, because like it's always annoying when someone like throws the spare chips when they're leaving the picnic.
Yeah.
And seagulls just flock.
Yeah.
That's annoying.
That is annoying.
And so is it getting too close to that?
Yeah.
Like are the birds becoming a pest to other people? Have your neighbours got bird and possum droppings on their premise / vehicles as a result? Yeah,
quite possibly. And I guess basically, leave us your feedback on the Instagram. And also, if you've got, a similar situation, do you have a neighbour that's an animal feeder, any kind of animal? Let us know.
Yeah, we'd like to know.
Yep. All right. Well, I reckon we've exhausted both topics.
Yep. Let's wrap it up.
Love it. Let us know. Get onto us, like we were just saying. Get in on the conversation in whatever way you please. We love hearing from you guys, and we'll definitely at least throw something in the news if you've got an update for us. So appreciate it heaps, guys.
Yep. We'll see you guys later.
On the next one.